What's your name?
Hi, I'm Terry Zell.
What happened? What was wrong last year when we came? Before? I mean, long before.
Oh, let's see. For 5 years, I had worn hearing aids because my hearing was if you would put your hands over your ears. And my esophagus quit working probably about 8 years ago. And I had arthritis in my knees.
Wow. And then we prayed for you last year. I think I had a word of knowledge for you like in every service or something.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then now?
No hearing aids. I can walk just fine, and I don't have to drink a lot of water to push my food down anymore.
And when this come about, they didn't know she had a stroke, tumor, brain aneurysm. We did all the MRIs. Her whole body was shutting down on one side. She would shake. She lost her voice. The endocrinologist, how do you say it?
Neurologist.
The neurologist did run all the tests. He panicked and sent us to get MRIs. That's when you came.
Yeah.
Right.
And said if they find anything, she's going in the hospital. We didn't know what was happening. Sarah's worked for many, many, many years as an athlete and a student. And this is her senior year. And
I gotta hear her say something again. I mean, I was just.
To hear her talk, it's like,
I never put it through again, but now I got myself a full ride on track because I stuck through the pain and held to my faith.
they actually shut her down. And then she still didn't want to not come to church. So at 8 o'clock, we'd show up here. And now you're talking.
You were dramatic. I was watching you be dramatic. What happened? Tell the folks exactly what it was like before, and then what happened to you.
Okay. Well, when I was 24, I had an accident playing softball, and my right knee popped into my left knee, and back out I heard 2 pops. Well, after that, I had about in the last 4 years, I'm about to be 28, I had over a dozen diagnoses. And living for me in my physical body was so hard just to get through my everyday. I literally had to take pain pills to roll out of bed.
Wow.
I at a time took 6 Norcos a day.
Wow.
Okay, I finally got it down to 4, but that's a lot. You know, I took muscle relaxers every day of my life. And literally in this last week, a week ago, I had, well, let me say the diagnosis in my back. I had, in my neck, I had arthritis, and my disc was protruding into my spinal column.
Wow.
In my middle back, my disc was bulging out the sides. In my lower back, it was literally, I could feel it grinding bone on bone. And so, a week ago, I had a cortisone shot in my lower back. It took away my pain for about 3 days, and it came back exactly the same. And I was in excruciating pain. I laid in my bed last week, probably 4 days for the whole day. And I was ready to ask my doctor for back surgery. And I'm 27 right now, about to be 28. And so when I came here on Sunday, I came expecting. Okay? And you know what? I've gotten prayer for healing so many times, but you know what? I made it complicated. And it's not complicated. You have to open your heart to receive. And we make it too complicated when it comes to God. It's not complicated. I came here and I said, you know what? I said a prayer to God. I said, God, I'm ready to receive my healing. And I said, God, if it's you, you call me out from the man of God, and I'll receive that healing. And so when we're sitting here, he had said, you know, there's a woman with lower back pain. Please come up. A few people had come up, and then there was a whole line of people up here. When I first came up, he said one of my shoulders was offset, and that's an immediate sign that I had issues through my back. And so he went down the row and asked each one of us what was wrong and going on in our bodies. And, you know, I listed, and he was down towards that end, and I was in the middle. And he said, "You guys are probably wondering what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting to hear on God." And he said, "Why would I start over here when God's already moving on her and healing her?" Amen. Okay? And I said, "Oh," and I just knew in my spirit, "This is you, God. This is it. My healing is now." Amen. And I'm receiving it. Okay? So he had me go back and sit in the chair, and he asked me if one of my legs was shorter. At the time, I thought, no. But you know, when I had that injury with my knee, it set my knee off. So my leg was actually shorter on the right side. So he lifted up my legs, and it was a little bit, my right side, a little bit, almost about an inch shorter. Well, I watched my leg grow out. Okay? I have never seen anything like that my entire life, okay? I believe in miracles. I've had miracles happen in my life, but nothing like that. And you know, if I wasn't a believer, I sure am now. Okay? So when you lift up my legs and they grow out, I knew that God was realigning my back. Okay? And God touched me so much, I thought I was the only person in here, man. I was up and jumping. I probably annoyed some people, okay? And I just so received that. And let me tell you, since Sunday night, I haven't taken one pain pill. I haven't taken one muscle relaxer, not one. I don't need it. I'm never going back to it. And I have feeling in my back.
Come this way. Help me with Deborah Jean. What happened, Deborah? We ministered in your church.
So Tom said,
I had a prophetic word in their church in Wausau about a month ago or 2 months ago. I guess it was about a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And I said what?
he said, "Hey, does somebody have a coworker named Sharon?"
Yeah.
And he had given Sharon's last name and all that. Or the first letter. And of course I said, "Yeah, I do." And he said, "Well, touch base with her because she is seeking and
Ready to get saved.
yeah, there were some controversial things going on too and all that." So I'm like, okay. I work in a cubicle quite a ways away from Sharon. She's a receptionist. And I'm like, all right, Lord, I don't know how you're going to do this, but I know that you will do it. So, okay. So Monday morning, 8 o'clock, I walk in and she said something to me. And I said, okay, let's do lunch at noon. She's like, okay. So then it goes to, I'm walking out, I'm like, okay, Lord, you took care of that part of it. So how are you going to make it so that it's not intrusive when I go to talk to her? I don't want to be, rude or pushy or anything like that. And he said, "Oh, I'll take care of it." So
So let me put her on pause. So the Saturday we did an outreach to the city. And we did an outreach and we did signs that said free dream interpretation and encouraging words or something like that. I think it said, and so or something like that. And so
free dream interpretation.
That's what it said on the sheet. And so she still had the sheets.
So I had the whole sign and I had forgotten to take it out of my car. So I threw it in the back and
She saw it.
She looks in the back and she says, "Free dream interpretation." And I'm like, aha, that's how you're going to do this. So I said, yeah. She said, "Well, tell me more about that." So the end result was that I ended up interpreting her dream, and we spent a good hour together, and by the time it was all said and done, she was basically in a puddle, and
Just crying her eyes out.
yeah, she was in a puddle, and then we had gone back to work, and I'm like,
Not in a literal puddle, but she was in a puddle of
she
tears.
was in a puddle of tears.
Yeah.
So we had gone back to work, and she called me back up 2 times that afternoon. This was noon. By the time we got back, it was 1. So she'd called me back up by 3, 2 more times, just to talk about the Lord. And so this is a common practice now that if she knows that if she's got something, she's going to tell me. She's going to ask me. She's going to...
To open that door.